Hey there, Lynn Lindbergh, Health and Fitness Motivation Podcast. I've got some important updates and announcements to different resources available for you to help you get your health and fitness going. That's right. So today what I'm going to do is talk you through some updates and tell you a little story about what's been going on with Couch to Active the last year, which was 2021, which is kind of crazy. It still feels like last year was 2020, doesn't it? I know. Everybody's saying that. Okay. So this episode is for anybody who has been listening to my podcast for a while, and hasn't actually ever gone to that website. You know, at the end of every podcast, I'm like, hey, head on over to couchactive.com. Check it out. If you haven't done that yet, this is for you. All righty. I digress. Okay. So in 2021, we had a couple of big changes that happened with Couch to Active. One of them is the audience in the group that we serve. I got super laser focused and realized that I had a very, very big passion for two groups of people. And this was a surprise to me because, you know, in life, sometimes you have your plans and you're like, I'm going to do this. And then things change and life turns out differently. And you look back and you say, wow, what I have now is actually way better than what I dreamed of. And how interesting. Yeah. So originally with Couch to Active, I was like, we're going to look at busy corporate mamas and help them figure blah, 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 right? Because that's what I was, a busy corporate mama. Well, now I'm practically an empty nester. I have 3 chronic health issues that I manage and thankfully have mostly overcome. And so I started talking on this podcast more and more about chronic illnesses, right? You've heard it. You've heard it along the way. And then I started teaching, when 2020 hit, I started teaching group fitness to people who have chronic illnesses also, or just to anybody. But I said, hey, I'm recovering from chronic illness. I need these classes to be appropriate for me as I rehab my health. And so because of that, I ended up attracting a bunch of other people who are like, yeah, they need to rehab their health. They need to get back into exercise and fitness. They need to, essentially feel like they're starting all over again. I don't like using those words, but people understand that when I'm like, you feel like you're starting all over again. Yeah, you get it. And so that's kind of the group that I started attracting. And I realized, oh my gosh, I can teach to this group, the starting all over again group, and have classes that people can grow and get stronger and stronger and stronger in until they're wicked strong, doing squats with all kinds of weights and all kinds of stuff. And those are the same people that one squat with no weight was like crazy hard. And so I found this really cool kind of niche where we just have fun exercising and doing that. So that's the one audience. The other audience, so if that's you, definitely keep listening because this we've really targeted and are really, focused on serving you and the needs for you because you're really underserved there because there's a lot of gyms and fitness options that say, we're here for the beginners, and they're really not, and you know it. Okay. The second audience that was the biggest surprise to me and the most exciting, energetic surprise to me is the blind community. And so as I was teaching these courses, I had a couple of people come to me and say, hey, Lynn, I'd like to try your classes, try your stuff. And by the way, I'm blind. Yeah, that's how it all started. I never went out and said, hey, I'm going to, target the blind community and teach it. No, I never did. They first came to me and I was really curious about could I do this? Could I teach classes to a community that's blind? Fast forward to a year later, over 400 to 500 classes later, and by golly, we done it. we have 9 classes a week, and the majority, more than half of the students in every class are completely blind, and we're doing this online. And so it's been this interesting back and forth of like, do you have to have chronic illnesses or health issues to be part of Couch to Active? No, but these classes work really well for that. Do you have to be blind to be part of my classes? No, but every single service that I provide today and going forward, this is the big change. I've got a commitment that they will be 100% accessible if you are blind. And I love it. I absolutely love the fusion of working with folks in those really unique circumstances. It's kind of a head scratcher. And the cool thing, well, there's lots and lots of cool things about it. But yeah, so that's one of the services that I have now is those group classes. And we are growing enough that I've actually hired one other instructor. Her name is Lori. She's great. She does yoga. We have learned that teaching yoga online, if you can't see, is one of the hardest things to figure out how the heck to do. But we're getting better and better at that every week, which is great. And my students, you guys, I owe it to you, my students. You're the ones that are helping make this great, because just like you helped me when I started figuring this all out, you're helping to get the yoga going too. I am not yoga certified. I'm just about everything else certified, but not yoga certified. So there's that piece. So if you've ever thought like, hey, I need to do some exercise, I need to have some accountability, I want it to be a super crazy safe environment because I'm nervous about it. The idea of exercising is exhausting. The idea of joining a group to exercise is even more exhausting. The idea of being on Zoom is even more exhausting. Yeah, I get it. And so that's why we do things like most of our students aren't even on camera. I never record the classes. Those kind of things to make it a little more easy to get on, a little more accessible, a little less intimidating. So there's one thing. Now, another thing though that we have going on is personal training. And the personal training that I offer is, I like to say it's different from your typical personal training, but I would say it's more different from your stereotypical personal training. And so when people say personal training, they say, just imagine yourself, if you're saying, hey, I want to start with this whole health and fitness thing. I want to get exercising. I want to get my diet going a little better, the food I eat. I want to feel better about it all. And I want to not have to do all the thinking myself and planning and prepping. I want to see results. I want to get better, but I don't want to kill myself doing it. I don't want to hate it. I want to actually like it more. And I want to do it in a way that actually becomes something I could do for the rest of my life, right? Then that's personal training. And that's when I meet with folks one-on-one and we look through your goals. I help you figure out what your goals are, because I know goal setting, that can be intimidating. But I help you figure out what your goals are. And then we just help you get on the path, and we talk about mindset and exercise. And some folks I spend the whole time talking about food. Some folks I never touch the topic of food. It's all about exercise. It's just kind of whatever works for you. So personal training is something I'm doing a whole heck of a lot of. So you can check that out on here we go. If you haven't gone there yet, you're going to go there today. Couch to Active, couchtoactive.com. You'll see that the tab there that says personal training. You can learn more about it there. Group classes is the other tab I talked about. One thing about personal training is currently all of my personal training clients get free unlimited group fitness passes. So that means if you're one of my personal training clients, for free, you can go to any and all of the group fitness classes you want. So it's a pretty darn awesome fusion of getting that one-on-one time with me and still getting a ton of time with me in group classes. Yeah. The next one that I have is on there is called courses. Is that right? Let me check out my website here. No, I'm just kidding. I know. Yeah. So, and that one is actually go to the resources tab is what you really want to go to. And there you'll see I've got a book. I've got this podcast, which obviously you know about because you're listening to it. And then we've got some online challenges that you can do independently. So there's like a different goal challenges. There's an 8-week experience challenge. And then there's some free freebies there. So if you want a 5-minute exercise mindset makeover, it's there for free. If you want the guide that's like exercise in your emotions, that one's there for free too. Another more interesting one is how much exercise strengthens our heart. That's a guide I've got there. And that's a great little resource that's there for just a few bucks. So there you go, my friends. That's what we've got going on. A lot of different things on Couch to Active. If you're curious about getting started, one of the best ways to do that is if you go to my homepage, you can join my Monday. Basically, it's my Monday office hours. And we'll get on a Zoom and we'll talk a little bit about your situation and dial in and figure out what's best for you. That's what most people do. Or if that Monday time doesn't work for you, just shoot me an email and or contact me through the chat bot on my website. And my email's on the website, my phone number's on the website. I'm super easy to contact. So go ahead and just contact me and be like, hey, I'm curious to meet with you and learn more. And we'll get you up and running. So how do you know if this is for you? This is for you if you know you need to level up what you're doing for health and fitness. You know you need to exercise more, but the thought of it is just like, bleh. And you've got other things getting in your way, whether it's mental or health issues or just plain old aging. This is for you. Who is this not for? I like to say I could help anybody, but if you're an elite athlete, there are so many programs out there already for you. So go find one of those. I could help you one-on-one, but really there's so many people who specialize in elite athletes. Yes, this is for the blind, and all the classes are 100% accessible if you are blind. But if you are blind and you're climbing Mount Everest, you know who you are. Or if you're blind and you're running marathons, yeah, then maybe you could just be a really great advocate to spread the word to others in your community about this. Yeah. But I don't know, I'd be happy to work with you. But as far as like the perfect, right? You want to know who's the perfect person for this. Yeah, that's you. Also, if you just love supportive environments, if you love a little bit of a goofy sense of humor, my silly goofy sense of humor that I have here shows up in my classes. My apologies in advance. If you're totally serious, like completely serious about everything all the time, and you never like to be jovial, then I might drive you crazy. You might be like, well, she's a little woo-woo, little cuckoo. So there we go. That'll hopefully help you figure out what's best for you, because really it's all about, in the end, living a life you love. And we know that living a life we love means we have to have the energy to live that life. Which means, gosh darn it, we have to take care of ourselves and we have to exercise, because that's what helps us have the strength to live our best lives. And that is what this is all about. Alrighty, friends, head on over there, couchactive.com. Reach out to me. I would love to connect with you. You can email, you can call, you can even text that number. It's all just set up in my systems. We're rocking and rolling, and we're ready to serve you. Alrighty, friends. Take care. Bye-bye now.